Hello. I've gone through this a few times now with my students, but I wanted to do a screencast showing and talking through everything as far as the lesson goes so that you could really see something, because the way I teach in this big computer lab and have the television up, it's hard to get a full view. And then I'll also take some pictures of what their characters. I have my background, and I did a lesson and actually recorded me going through the steps also of putting together this background. And then I have a character sketch, and the character sketch is here on a different layer, and now I'm going to go through the drawing tools that I've been learning about. I'm going to turn off the background so it's not distracted. I have the background layers locked so that I don't accidentally draw on them. I also have my template locked so I don't accidentally draw on it too. So now I'm going to make a new layer, and this will be my alien. I'm going to move it up to the top. So here's my alien. I have to right click at the 3-second frame and insert a blank keyframe in order to take my content. So the oval tools, I'm going to be working with stroke, so I want to get rid of my fill. Just the stroke, 3.8. Come in here, draw my ellipse. I can get my selection tool and move it over. And then I'm going to manipulate it. So by going into my selection tool, I'm able to just pull and push to fill out my drawing. And I don't have to hold to my exact sketch. Hopefully there's some correction, but what I want to show is that you can spend time on a sketch and get your character developed and then bring it in as a template in this line work, where you will be able to have nice closed lines and fill very easily. You should be able to make it happen fairly quick. So I'm going to get another oval here for my eye. Maybe squish it just a little bit. Then I'm going to get my free transform tool and rotate it just a little bit. Move it over. And then I'm going to copy it. So I'm going to go Command C, Command V to copy, bring it up for the other eye, rotate it, move it over, and that's going to be that. I'm going to get a rectangle tool, and I'm going to make a mouth. Now, if it's hard to see your drawing, you can click on that template layer, and for under color effect, you can adjust the alpha to where you can see your lines, but you can see your line work over it really well. So let's get back to this. Oops. Back to this. I'm going to make the antenna. There's a few different things I can do. I kind of like using this paint tool as a paint and line tool. It's a fairly new tool as far as I know. And I'm being sure to cross over my other lines, make sure they intersect and create a closed shape. Then I can get my oval tool and come up here and draw kind of like this little bit funkier of a shape. Instead of just round, let's see, I really want this. I want to rotate it just a bit. Now, I can just, for consistency's sake, I can Command C, Command V, and move this up here. I could make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so now I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup just to show how easy it is. So I'm in my regular selection tool, and if I turn this off, see that the antenna on this side are coming from the front, so I'm going to want to remove that line, whereas here I want that outer edge to show. So I'm going to come up and get that and delete it. I'm going to delete these little pieces. I'm even going to delete that. Okay, so here though I want to get rid of these pieces. And here I want to get rid of this line, but I'm going to pull this out some. Hopefully that looks okay. The mouth, I'm going to pull it down like this. I could either leave it like that, which is kind of cute. This also kind of works. Let's just go with this one. So paint bucket, and I'm going to get my color. So I've got this green here. I'm going to go ahead and click, and that means I have something that's not connected. So I'll go and try the hands. Okay, everything else is color except for this, so I'm going to zoom in really close. And I'm sure it's probably up here. I can see a gap now there too. So let me get my direct select tool. See, that looks good, so it must just be this. Here is my alien drawn fairly quickly. I can zoom in. So you can zoom in and out also to work on an area, which will let you get your lines easier. So on this one, since I want this antenna to look like it's behind the head, I'm going to get rid of these lines. On this one over here, since I want him to come in front, I'm going to get rid of this one. But again, I can sit and I can push and pull this shape however I want it. Okay. Now I could also do this with drawing with my line tool and then adding an oval on top of it. But why don't you go ahead and start getting your basic characters drawn using the line and maybe using some rectangles or ovals, okay? You want to make sure, the first thing to do is make sure those other layers don't erase anything on your template. It's going to go away completely. Your template just sits in there for you to trace over basically. That's why it's on its own layer. We're going to turn it off and throw it away at some point once you get your character drawn. Okay? So make sure you have that template layer locked. Make sure you have a new layer for your alien. Make sure you have a blank keyframe in at 3 seconds where you're going to start drawing it. Okay? So go to it.